Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Know How Right Now. What I'm going to do is go over the difference of squares. So let's get started. Let's say you have an expression a squared minus b squared, and your professor says, I want you to factor that thing. Well, not a problem, because we can rewrite this as a squared minus b squared, which is equal to a plus b, a minus b. And you say, wait a minute, how do we do that? I'm going to go over it for you. Now, if you don't believe me, all I'm going to do is I'm going to check my answer, and this is the beauty of this thing, is we can just check our answer. This times this times that. And if you've seen my FOIL videos before, and at this point you should already know how to FOIL, but if you forgot, just go back to my videos. I have the FOIL method, I have a multiplicative version of the FOIL method, which is just doing it vertically. So now, I'm going to say a times a, which is a squared, and a times negative b, don't forget your negative b here, which is negative ab, and then b times a, which is plus ab, and b times negative b, which is negative b squared. And guess what? These are like values. So let's simplify and let's say, okay, well this is the same thing as, well these subtract and this equals 0, right? So this is a squared minus b squared, which is exactly what we started off with, right? Okay. So now I'm going to show you the difference of squares, but with particular numbers. Okay, so just remember what I did here. I don't want to confuse you here. Here's a little guideline. So let's say we have x squared minus 16. Your professor's like, factor that thing. Not a problem. Let's do it. Okay, so now you have, what is your a? That's what I'm gonna ask you. What's a? Well, a is just x in this case. If you take x and you square it, it's the same thing as x squared. And if you take, what number can you take where you square it and it equals to 16? Well, that's 4. Well, what's this equal to? Well, using this above, we can say that that's the same thing. And by the way, this is your a and this is your b, right? This is your a and this is your b. It's the same thing as a plus b times a minus b, which is x minus 4 times x plus 4. And here, actually, I wrote it in reverse order. It doesn't matter. I mean, just as long as you have an a minus b and an a plus b, or an a plus b and an a minus b. Just remember that. So, and if you don't believe me about this, not a problem. I'll tell you what. Let's FOIL it out. Let's FOIL this out, okay? And don't forget about this negative sign right here. Okay. So now we have this is equal to x times x, which is x squared, and x times 4, which is plus 4x, and minus 4 times x, which is negative 4x, and then negative 4 times 4, which is negative 16. So now when we add like values, these two go to 0, and now we have x squared minus 16, which is exactly what we started off with, right? Okay, so I just checked it. You don't have to do this, but that's the beauty of it. You can. Okay, so let's try something a little different. Let's make it a little more complicated, because surely your professor's not going to stay quite that simple. Now are they? So let's say you have 4x to the 4th power minus 36. So now what's our a? I want you to think about this for a minute. It's a little more complicated, but not too much. Okay? Well, A is going to be, what number do you, can you square that will give you 4? Well, 2. And what variable can you square that will give you x to the 4th power? Well, x squared. Do you agree with me that 2x squared to the 2nd power is equal to 4x to the 4th power? Now, what about this one? What can you square, what number can you square that will give you 36? 6, right? Okay, so now, once we're at this point, remember, this is your A and this is your B. And so remember, A minus B times A plus B will give you your answer. So 2x squared minus 6 times 2x squared plus 6. So this is your final answer. In this case, sometimes you know, maybe one of the terms might be factorable even further, and so you have to look out for that. But in this basic video, this is as far as I'm going to go. But just to persuade you that I'm correct, I'm going to go ahead and FOIL this out, and all should be well. So I'm going to multiply, I'm going to FOIL this out, right? Multiply this times that, and this times this, and that times that, and don't forget your negative sign. Okay. So I've got 2x squared times 2x squared, which is 4x to the 4th power. I got negative 6, I'm sorry, 2x squared times 6, which is plus 12x squared. I've got negative 6 times 2x squared, which is minus 12x squared. And I've got negative 6 times 6, which is negative 36. These two add together. This is the opposite of that. So these subtract, and we're left with a 0 there. And now we have 4x to the 4th power minus 36. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to put your equal signs. So I'm being bad right now, but this right here is equal to this, and this is equal to this. And now we're checking it, right? So this right here, when I FOIL it out, is equal to this, which is equal to this, which is exactly what we started off with. So I hope you get that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below or just email me and I'll get back with you. But thank you for joining.